Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome. My name is Sally, and it is my honour to be your celebrant today. And thank you for being here and supporting the family in honour of Paul. We do come together to remember and celebrate the life of Paul Alfred Henry, a very special man who was deeply loved and whose passing has left a great sadness in the hearts of so many who had the privilege of knowing him. For those joining us via live stream today, we warmly welcome you as well. Whether you are here with us in person or watching from afar, your presence is appreciated at this time of remembrance. Paul was born to Alfred and Clarice, and he grew up in Tasmania alongside his big sister Jill. From a young age, Paul developed a wonderful love of music, and it would go on to become one of the greatest passions of his life. Paul was a tremendously talented musician and a gifted guitar player. Throughout his career, he played guitar in many different bands, and his music took him to many places. His guitar became such an important part of who he was, bringing him friendships, adventures, travel, and countless wonderful memories. Paul lived in many places throughout his life, including Melbourne and Sydney and wherever life took him. He had a wonderful ability to meet people, make friends, and enjoy experiences along the way. Paul was a man who loved deeply. He was a loving and devoted partner to Joy, a much-loved stepfather, brother, and pop to Joy's grandchildren, and a dear and valued friend to many. For the past 22 years, Paul and Joy shared a very special life together. They loved each other's company and enjoyed travelling and experiencing life together. Paul loved to spoil Joy. He loved cooking for her, fussing over her, and making sure she was looked after. Their trip to Greece was one of those wonderful adventures they shared and would always have as part of their story. Lovely memory for you, Joy. Paul certainly knew how to enjoy life. He loved a social drink, enjoyed playing bowls, and loved good food, particularly his spicy food. Those who knew Paul well will remember his wonderful personality. He was warm, funny, and witty, with a dry sense of humour and sometimes a naughty sense of humour as well. He had a way of making people smile, and his presence could bring laughter and warmth to any gathering. And to Joy's grandchildren, he was Pop. The relationship he shared with them was something to treasure, and he will remain part of their lives through the memories they carry with them. Paul was simply a lovely man, caring, generous. Sadly, Paul was taken from those who loved him far too soon. There was still so much more life to live, more places to see, more meals to cook, more stories to tell, more music to play, and most importantly, more time to spend with the people he loved. His family would have dearly loved to have many more years with him. Today, while there will naturally be sadness, let us also remember Paul for the warmth he brought into your lives, for his laughter, his humour, his music, and the love he shared with you all so generously. Let us remember the wonderful man he was, the memories he created, and the special place he will always hold in your hearts. Paul may no longer be here beside us, but his love will remain, and he will be dearly missed. I would like to invite Karen forward with her special tribute for Paul. Thank you, Karen.
Hello everyone, thank you for joining us today. It feels like I've been guided all week by Paul. From the poem you will hear today, to the sheet music from David Bowie I found when Mum and I started to pack up his house, to now this speech. I'm hoping it comes very much from his heart as it comes from my heart as well. So let's begin. The way our mark is made is attributed to the way we love, how we have lived and how much we care for one another. This is how we are remembered. It's also the way we treat and honour each other. Today we pause as we are gathered to remember and honour Paul. Within this, let us remember the way Paul made us feel. And I'm pretty sure you would all agree that the feeling that comes to mind is that Paul made us all feel good. Good inside to the core of your hearts, of our hearts. He made you feel seen, cared for, and loved. Today, on behalf of Joy, I want to express her deepest love for Paul. And in this love, I hope we can all unite in blessings and loving Paul. And together we can farewell him and lovingly set him free. I want to say thank you. Thank you for sharing your time and your hearts with Joy's beloved Paul. I have had the privilege over the last week to phone Paul's dearest friends to share the news of Paul's passing. During this period, there is one phrase I have heard continuously expressed by many of Paul's nearest and dearest, and it was that he was one of a kind. This I can say, hand on my heart, I totally agree. Paul had such a zest and love of life. He was outgoing and chatty as he was quiet and reflective. He was a multifaceted diamond that shined bright. Paul loved all the finer things in life. He had a big love for delicious food. Paul would spend hours thinking, shopping, preparing and sharing the most ambitious dinners and wines, and there's always fun to be had. When my family came up to visit, there's always his signature slow-cooked Mexican dish waiting for us. We would be finishing off with a couple of card games or board games that got very loud very quickly. He was funny, warm, cheeky, and he loved to put spice in everything, which I think you all know. Yeah. Much to Mum's surprise, every time there was spicy food, which was not her favourite, she didn't know, but unbeknownst to her, it was full of spice and she would absolutely love it. But we were, however, in on the secret with Paul. We were all trying to increase her ability to tolerate chili. He loved his bowls and loved to read and read and read. And it was always swapping books with everyone. But what absolutely lit him up was his music. That was completely him. That, besides loving Mum, was his deepest treasure and was at the core of who he was. Paul is with us today and every day. Not a day goes by without Paul's slow, steady heart guiding us recently. You see, we have a dog called Cosmo, and on more than one occasion, Mum, Nan, and Paulie Pops, as he was known, took the dog Cosmo, and Paul fell madly, deeply in love with Cosmo, and Cosmo also fell madly, deeply in love with Paul and would follow him around everywhere. Even when he was in his wheelchair, he was always at the wheel of his chair. Paul was very patient and kind and taught Cosmo many tricks. But my favourite one was that every morning Nan and Paul would have morning tea, and he learnt very quickly to sit on his mat if he wanted a treat. And to this day at home, every day, when I say treat, he goes on his mat and he waits for his treat. So we have Paul to thank for his good manners. And if you can't find a bed, he'll go sit on the cat's bed. So everyone has been part of the chapter in Paul's life, and I'm sure you're all thinking about all your fond memories and stories that you have shared with Paul. We are so lucky and blessed that we got to walk through life in one or many of his chapters with him. So hold tight and cherish those memories. It's in these memories and moments that knit us all together here today. It's our shared life and love with Paul that is the container we hold sacred and pressed in our hearts forever. I hope you'll join us afterwards for a light lunch and refreshments after the service, and take your time to share your stories and your memories of our Mr. Paul Henry. Thank you very much. And now Bob would love to have a talk about Paul as well.
Thank you, Karen. That was a beautiful tribute. Thank you, Bob.
Thank you. Gee, I don't know what I can add to all those stories, but I do have 3 stories about Paul. Some of them include me. Really, they do. I go back 40 plus years with Paul. 32 years ago, I was faced with a heart transplant. Contacted Paul in the morning to tell him what had happened, what I was doing. He said, "What time are you going to be there?" Didn't say any more than that. Anyway, I got to St. Vincent's. Suddenly I'm aware of a tap on my shoulder and Paul's turned up there. I don't know how he got there so quickly. I have no idea, but he got there. And conversations where he stayed there all day. That's what I thought. Conversations with him later, I found out that when I was in having the transplant, Paul had gone down the pub and he'd had a few beers down there, so just to keep himself going. Next one that happened was, the story was, my wife came to me one day and she said to me, "I want you to put a band together." I only knew guitarists. So Paul was the first one on the list to do it. So I contacted him. Paul said to me, "Bob, I'm in. Count on me. I'm there." So we did it. We practiced, we got together, and then we were put on a major function for St. Vincent's at the Regent Hotel in the city. And we got up on the stage, we were playing away and doing whatever, and then it came to a song that Paul wanted to do. He said, no, because his love of music was well known. So the song was, if you know music or background of music and that, by a song by a guy called Peter Green, which was called Oh Well. And there's a long intro into the song, guitars blaring. And suddenly on the stage I was aware of this person, it was Paul, running past me, and he jumped off the stage and landed on his knees with his hands out like this in front of this 200 people in the room. And walked up to, there's a doctor there right in front of us, walked up to him and tapped him on the shoulder. As he turned, the doctor turned around and thought, oh no. Then Paul started up with the song, "Can't help about the shape I'm in, I can't sing, I ain't pretty and my legs are thin." But don't ask me what I think of you, you're not going to get the answer that you want me to. We knew who the doctor was not known for any humour whatsoever, laughing or anything. He did have a laugh, he did smile. We mentioned it to Paul later. Paul said to me, "Bob, I think he had wind was the problem." So anyway, so that one happened. Recently, and I know time is of the essence with this, the last one I wanted to do was just a special one that Paul said to me recently, because when I learned that he was losing his leg and all that was happening, I said to him, "How are you going with this?" in conversation. I had a number of phone calls to him throughout the year, and I think I 12, maybe more phone calls to him just to check on him, because I couldn't get up to here to see him. And he said, "Bob," he said, "I just want to tell you, you're the person that gave me the encouragement to keep going with all you've been through with your transplant and everything. And I want to thank you for that." Well, mate, I thank you for your friendship because it was a very good friendship, and the words that have been spoken by Sally and by Karen are true. Love of music was well known, and I'm going to miss you, but from my wife and I just wanted to say rest in peace, mate, because we're going to miss you anyway. Thank you.
Thank you, Bob. That's lovely. Very heartfelt, and thank you for sharing those stories with us. That's. We have Ziggy will be coming forward with a poem reading for Paul. Thank you, Ziggy.
Oh no, that's fine.
Okay.
G'day, I'm Ziggy. Paul's Enjoy's grandson. Paul's an avid reader, so I thought it was fitting to include a poem today. This was one of Paul's favourite poems. It's an excerpt from The Prophet by Khalil Gibran. Love gives naught but itself and takes naught but from itself. Love possesses not, nor would it be possessed, for love is sufficient unto love. When you love, you should not say, God is in my heart, but rather, I'm in the heart of God. And think not you can direct the course of love, for love, if it finds you worthy, directs your course. Love has no other desire but to fulfill itself. But if you love and must needs have desires, let these be your desires. To melt and be like a running brook that sings its melody to the night. To know the pain of too much tenderness, to be wounded by your own understanding of love and bleed willingly and joyfully. To wake up at dawn with a winged heart and give thanks for another day of loving. To rest at the noon hour and meditate love's ecstasy. To return home at eventide with gratitude. And then to slate with a prayer for the beloved in your heart and a song of praise upon your lips. Thank you.
Lovely, Ziggy, and it takes bravery and heart to do that, and I can tell you now Paul would be very proud of that moment. We will now have a reflection, the classic song, the Pink Floyd song, Wish You Were Here, and I invite the family to come forward and take a flower, lay it on the casket, pay your respects, and I invite you all to follow after the family and do so yourselves. Pay your own respects. Thank you, James. Thank you, everyone. I think, as Paul would say, there you go. I think that was his trademark saying. I think we all have our own little sayings, and Paul's was, there you go. As we come to the close of Paul's service today, we take a final moment to reflect on a life that was filled with love, music, friendship, laughter, and so many wonderful memories. I actually have a lovely poem reading here, which I felt was quite fitting for Paul and his musical background. He lived his life with music in his heart, a guitar in his hands, and a song to impart. With every chord and every tune, he brought a little light into the room. Paul had a way of making music his own, turning simple strings into something well known. And though his guitar may now be still, the music he gave us is with us still. For music is more than the notes that we hear. It becomes part of the memories we hold dear. A melody played, a familiar song, can bring Paul back to us before too long. We'll remember his laughter, his kindness, his way, the songs he played and the moments each day. And when a guitar is gently played, we'll think of the beautiful memories he made. So let the tears come, but let smiles come too, for a life filled with music is a gift to hold true. Though Paul has left us, his spirit lives on in every sweet melody and every song.
Thank you. That was beautiful.
Thank you, Joy. There is no doubt that Paul will be deeply missed. His absence will be felt in the quiet moments, in family gatherings, in the laughter of those who loved him, and perhaps most of all, by Joy, who shared 22 precious years of love and companionship. But while today brings tears, I think Paul would want those tears to eventually give way to smiles. He would want to be remembered not simply for the sadness of his passing, but for the happiness he brought into your lives. Remember his cheeky humour, the love for his guitar and music, the laughter and the stories. And remember the way Paul loved. He would not want those who loved him to stop living because he is no longer here. He would want you to keep going and to keep loving the people who matter to you. Because a smile is a beautiful way of saying, I remember you, Paul, and I am grateful you were part of my life. Although Paul's journey has come to an end far sooner than anyone wished, the love he gave and the memories he created will continue. He will live on in the heart of his family, his friends, and everyone who knew and loved him. So today we don't have to say goodbye to everything that Paul was. We carry him forward in the stories. May we leave here with gratitude for the privilege of having known such a special man. Paul, may you rest peacefully, and wherever you are, I hope there is a guitar in your hands, a good song playing, and a smile on your face. You are loved, you are missed, and you will always be remembered. And we thank you for just being you. I'd like to thank you all for attending. On behalf of the family, they appreciate your presence today. And please join Karen for some refreshments and reminiscing, sharing stories, and just, I hope you have a lovely time together. And thank you once again for being here today. We will now play another song. Could I please ask you to be upstanding as we play Amsterdam? Thank you.
Amsterdam, there's a sailor who sings of the dreams that he brings from the wide open sea. In the port of Amsterdam, there's a sailor who sleeps while the tree. In the port of Amsterdam, there's a sailor who dies, full of beer, full of cries, in a drunken town fight. In the port of Amsterdam, there's a sailor who's born on a hot buggy moon by the dawn's early light. In the port of Amsterdam, where the sailors all meet, there's a sailor who eats only fish heads and tails, and he'll show you his teeth that have rotted too soon, that can haul up the sails, that can swallow the moon. And he yells to the cook with his arms open wide, "Hey, bring me more fish, throw it down by my side." And he wants so to belch, but he's too full to try. So he stands up and laughs, and he zips up his fly. In the port of Amsterdam, you can see sailors dance, parties bursting their pants, grinding women to porch. They've forgotten the tune that their whiskey voice croaked, splitting the night with the roar of their jokes. And they turn and they dance and they laugh and they lust, till the rancid sound of the accordion bursts. And then out of the night, with their pride and their pants, and the sluts that they tow underneath the street lamps. In the port of Amsterdam, there's a sailor who drinks, and he drinks, and he drinks, and he drinks once again. He'll drink to the health of the whores of Amsterdam, who've given their bodies to 1,000 other men. Yeah, they bargain their virtue, their goodness all gone, for a few dirty coins, when he just can't go on. Throws his nose to the sky, instead of above, and he pisses like I cry on the unfaithful love. In the port of Amsterdam, in the port of Amsterdam.
Wow, what a song. Ladies and gentlemen, if you could please follow the family from the chapel. Thank you again.